Hey guys, my name is Tarek Hopstock. I'm here with Jill, and today we're gonna go a little bit further on the knee shield guard. And so, starting off, we did the underhook last time, and so we're gonna start here with the overhook this time. So, essentially, I will always be looking to get the underhook if she allows me to do it. But a lot of the times, Jill is gonna close this space and this elbow, and she's getting pretty low, right? And what I want to be careful with here is that if she gets her head over to my other hip here and she starts flattening me out, she's going to be able to pass quite easily, right? So it's important that I use my frame efficiently here by blocking her head all the time. Now what I always do is I put my elbow on the inside of my thigh, so my leg or my thigh is resting on my arm, right? And my other hand here is resting on top of her neck, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm pushing her head away all the time and creating a little bit of distance. So when I'm doing this and I feel like she's coming lower, I'm gonna change my arms. So I bring in this hand and it replaces the frame that I had. And now I'm looking to bring the other arm over and under her armpit, right? So try to get it as deep as possible. You don't have to do like a sit-up all the way, but just throw your arm as far back as possible and as deep under her armpit as possible. So now that I have a good and nice grip under her armpit and I still have my frame here, I can now kick my leg free here, right? And so now I can bring myself up and change up my arms. So what I go for here is pretty much just a standard arm drag grip here. So I was inside with this arm. I'm just going to change it up and bring the other arm in. Now this arm can go several places here. The easiest going for the armpit or the pants or just behind the thigh. So we're just going to go for the pants right now just to get you guys going. So here she gets low, blocking, making sure I have a good frame so she doesn't flat me out. Watch how my hips are always on the side here, right? If she's coming closer, I will have to move my hips away, right? This is what's keeping me on my side. Now, I'm gonna bring this other arm in so I can have this one free and throw it over. Now, when I have this arm inside, I'm gonna kick the other one out. So now her arm is stuck between my legs. Coming up, I change the grip, give it to the other arm, like an arm drag, and I can grab her pants here. Just to go through the details on the back side. So here, watch how she goes super low. I block her head. I'm gonna replace my frame, and I come deep with this arm here. Now, with this grip, I kick out. So let's say if she had a grip on my pants, there, then I would be able to break it, stretch her arm out, and then even create some momentum for me to get up. I change my arms, and then I can connect. Just change the angle one more time. Here, she comes low, I block, change it up, kick, change arms, get tight. Last, thank you. Did you stop it?
No.
No? Okay.
Just keep going. So
Because I this was not taking fun.
Say one more detail.
Yeah, that last little detail. So here, when I've gotten up here, I just want to keep my chin close to her back. Essentially, I'm always looking down towards her belt and not up towards her face. Now we've been working on attacking this side of Jill. Now I'm going to be attacking the other side here. Pretty much what I'm always looking for is to see how she's moving back and forth, right? So if her midline is super close to this side, she's giving me this arm, right? And if she's doing the opposite, it would be better to go for the underhook or the overhook. So the situation that we're looking for here is when she's leaning a little bit more to this side here, to my left, right? And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna move my knee over to the other side here. So if my knee is here, let's say, I'm gonna be moving my knee to this side. if you're having problems with doing this, you can use your hand on the side of her neck, especially IBGF. You just have to be careful not to touch the middle of her face. So the side is perfect here. Watch how my knee is pointing up and is at the same level as her shoulder. Right. So here, what I'm trying to do is go for an underhook with this arm here. I'm gonna grab the back of her tricep here, and I'm looking to turn her elbow towards me here. And I'm gonna be pulling at the same time. Now, what I'm gonna do with this knee that I got in front of her face, I'm gonna be pushing her face away here. So I'm pulling the arm, pushing her face away, and now I can point my knee down so I can get my leg free here. Getting my leg free is essential so that I can kick it over and place it on the hip here, right? From here, we have a couple of attacks, but we're going to go through the Kimura today. So here, I'm throwing my arm over here, and then I can look for the wrist. I grab my own wrist, and here we are in the Kimura position, right? Very often I see people trying to finish with their arms like this, stretched out, but the truth is your whole body is the most powerful thing, right? So you don't want to just be using your arms, you want to be using your whole body here to turn and twerk her shoulder. So here, push away her face, make sure your knee comes up here beside the shoulder. Look for the underhook. This is super efficient, especially if she's grabbing my pants like this. Perfect, right? Here, now I'm going to be pushing and turning my knee inwards here. Perfect. Now I have my leg out, can kick it forward and bring it to her hip. So here's a little small detail about this, right? When I have my foot on her hip here, I can also control the distance between her hips and mine, right? If my leg is up here, she can come closer and essentially stack me, right? So by having my foot here, I can always control the distance. So whether she tries to come closer or go away, I can pull her in with the arm, right? So here, I'm throwing my arm over here, switching it up, going for the Kimura. Grab the wrist, grab your own wrist here, and use your whole body to finish. One more time. So here, push, kick, over, switch it up. Thank you guys. Okay, so last part here for today. Knee shield guard, going for the Kimura. I got my knee through here, set it up, and got here, right? And so what happens is Jill is gonna feel the Kimura and she's gonna be rolling. Yes. So as she does it, I'm gonna be following through here and watch how my hips change sides, right? So first things first, I always wanna make sure my hips turn to the side. And what I can do now is I can hook the back of her head and throw my other leg over. So I'm keeping her arm tight between my legs by pinching my knees and keeping her head down from coming up with my legs here. So here I can finish, and we have the armbar. So one more time. Here. Bam. I changed for the Kimura. She jumps. Going for the Kimura. I got to the position, and when I'm threatening, she starts rolling. Now here, I always want to make sure I'm hip escaping a little bit out, so it's easy for me to hook the back of her head and throw my other leg over here. So I'm isolating her arm and her head so she can't move as easily, right? Her thumb is pointing up, I'm keeping it tight, and here we have an armbar. So go back. Simple and easy. Going here. Got the Kimura, she rolls. I follow through. There we have it. Hey guys, so today we're gonna go through the knee shield guard. We're gonna go a little bit further than we did last time. So, first things first, starting from the guard here. So what happens a lot is when she knows that I'm gonna go for the underhook, she's gonna be staying a little bit lower than the last time, right? And what I'm looking for is to keep a frame so that she won't flatten me out like this, right? So what I like to do is always put my arm here, my lower arm on her neck, and I'm resting my leg on top of my arm. So this is my frame here, right? So by using my arm like this, it's gonna be hard for Jill to push her head in towards me. Watch how also my hips are gonna be working here. Like if my hips are below her, I will have to move them a little bit away so I can always control the distance here. Now, what I wanna do here is I wanna replace this frame with my other arm just for a second so I can move this one. What I'm looking to do is throw this arm as deep as possible under her armpit here. So this grip is gonna help me get to her back. So now I can break her other arm, or the grip that she has with the other arm, easily and bring myself up. Now I can switch the grips. So the hand that was through her armpit, I can give her arm to the other arm. Now I'm on her back. So what I like to do here is cup her hip, simple and easy. So now I can bring her on top of me, or I can bring myself up. So here, Jill goes a little bit lower. I frame, block it with my opposite arm, and then I throw my arm in under her armpit. So here, I kick my leg through and bring myself up. Change the grip to like an arm drag grip here. And now I have a free arm to go for hips here. Now, I can bring her on top of me like this to go for the back. Or if she is resisting and she's pulling me up, then I'm looking for the hook and coming up here. So here, got the frame, making sure she doesn't flat me out. I bring my other arm in here. Now I can throw the arm over. Kick my leg through, come up, change the grips, and now I have the grip on her hip. Last little detail here, make sure you're always keeping your cheek here tight to her back. This is gonna be a very essential detail if you want to stay tight and make sure that you don't lose the position. So looking down towards her hips here instead of looking up towards her head, right? And then I can lose her shoulder. Last time here, blocking, change it, hook, up, and grab. So now I can come up to her back. Try to feel your opponent, how they're moving, right? If they're pushing in towards you, they're giving you the back so you can just hip escape backwards. If they're pulling, you pull yourself with it. Thank you guys. Okay guys, so we're gonna go to the next part here for the knee shield guard. And what I'm looking to do now is attack the other side of Jill's body here, her other arm. So what I'm looking to do is cross my knee over to her other side here, over her middle line here, and I want to bring my knee up towards her shoulder. So if my knee is here, I'm looking to push her face away and bring my knee on the other side here. This can happen the same time that you're doing the other stuff here with this arm, but the important part is that you're moving her head away and bringing your knee up here. Now, looking for an underhook, I'm going to grab the back of her tricep here, and I'm looking to turn her elbow towards me here. So this is going to be a powerful hook here, right here, to bring her arm towards me. Now, I'm going to push with my knee and push her face away. Now I can still pull her arm towards me, and now I'm going to bring my knee down to the floor by turning inwards, and now I can release my heel and get it all the way over, right? From here, I change it up and go over to the Kimura Grip, and I can finish. So, sorry. So here, I'm pushing her head away, bringing my knee tight to her shoulder here, getting the underhook. I'm going to push her head away, and now point my knee inwards. Watch how this makes it much easier to get my leg over here, right? And this foot is quite important to keep the distance between me and her. If my foot is up here, she's going to be able to stack me. But by having this leg here, I can always keep her away. And even though she starts stepping towards me, I'll just push back, right? Now here, still having this grip on the arm, I'm throwing my other arm over, staying tight so that I can re-grip and grab the Kimura grip. Make sure to grab her wrist, thumb over, and your own wrist here. There's a common mistake here that you try to use only your arms to finish the Kimura, which you can do if you're pretty strong. But if you're doing it on somebody bigger than you, try to use your whole body here. Stay tight, keep her elbow close to your chest, and twerk using your whole body here. So one more time here, going for the underhook, pushing her face away, getting my foot on the hip. I change the grips, and there we have it, the Kimura. Hey guys, so the last part here on the knee shield guard. So we went for the Kimura, but we're gonna finish off with an armbar here. Simple and easy. I got to the position. I got my feet there. My arms are changed up to the Kimura grip. And what happens a lot here is when I try to torque her shoulder, she's gonna start to defend it by rolling. So as soon as she does it, I follow through here. And what I want to make sure of is that I'm hip escaping my hips to the side, so I'm ready to catch her head here. Watch how I'm curling my toes around her head here to isolate her head, and I'm bringing my other leg above to control her from coming up. Now my knees are pinching, I'm keeping her thumb pointed up like this, and here I have it, the armbar, right? So starting from the knee shield, I get my knee high, go over, change it up to the Kimura grip. I try to push it, she rolls, I'm hooking my leg or my foot behind her head here, and I'm throwing my other leg in front, right? Still keeping my knees pinched. I change up the grip on the hand, making sure her thumb points up, and now I have the armbar.